Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to be doing a pretty quick video discussing the Switch 2 and how it now has been potentially delayed. So we're going to talk about this, and although thankfully the delay doesn't seem that far out there, and of course we still have to wait for the official Nintendo confirmation, but I figured this would be a good video to talk about. So make sure you guys are subscribed. We have a lot of the Target links for the summer holiday sales going on down below, so check those on out. And of course, give me your thoughts and comments on if you guys are going to be picking up the Switch 2 or not. We're also going to give you guys a little bit of details too as well when it comes to what we're expecting for the Switch 2. Is kind of a recap after we cover the news and my expectations, so stay tuned as well for that. So if you guys have been missing it, we've been seeing a lot of brand new leaks when it comes to Switch 2. Now at this point, we're having a really rough idea that it'll be around the same specs of like a PS4, give or take. It will be maybe actually downgrading the screen itself too as well from an OLED to an LCD to go cost. We're expecting around a $350 to $400 price range. A lot of people are roaming the $399, and of course as well a few little other various things such as like more of an internal augmented reality system and a few other various things we may go and cover in a little bit. But right now the bigger news for today is that it seems like the Switch 2 is actually maybe been delayed. Now the delay is going to be a weird one, because we still have never had official confirmation from it either way. But a lot of the initial rumors were expecting an earlier 2025 or even potentially this holiday season launch for the Switch 2. Now, I was always on the proponent of early 2025. A lot of people were also assuming as well maybe around March, because that's when the original Nintendo Switch came out, along with that Zelda game. So people were kind of maybe assuming they just kind of do the same thing. March release date, kind of hype it on up, let it get some good games for the summer. Also sell games to the kids for summer. Makes sense. They do target a little bit different than PS5 and Xbox markets. But it does seem as of right now is expecting the Switch 2 to not even launch before April of 2025. So at this point, due to initial leaks and other rumors in the industry, that actually is now like, once again, it's not all been officially confirmed by Nintendo, but it does seem like this will be a slight delay. Now, this is not going to be horrible news. I do think this was kind of expected, / you can maybe assumed it would have been, because we haven't seen major news from it so far. Now, they would have maybe did like an October big Nintendo Direct and go from there. Sure, maybe we can maybe see it, but it seems like right now all the developers, people making the games and working on the Switch 2 and utilize the new specs, and probably has a little bit more internal information on it, and probably actually even have a hands-on design as well. And for the actual, the preemptive console for them to go test out games and run games, it does seem like there is a delay, saying the Switch's successor is seemingly set to be released during Nintendo's next financial year. So developers have reportedly been briefed not to expect Nintendo's next console to launch before April of 2025. That's according to Game Industry Biz Chris String, who discussed launch plans for the Switch's successor on the publication's podcast. Nintendo has confirmed in May it will announce its next console during the current fiscal year, which will be running until March 31st of 2025. Some initial rumors were maybe assuming it would be coming out before that date, because if they announce it even say they announced it hypothetically today, that would give them many months to either have it released for the holiday season, so think November, December times for Christmas, etc., holidays, or maybe do the same thing as I mentioned prior in this video, releasing it around that March date so it hits that same financial fiscal year, and then it makes the next fiscal year very good for shareholders. But it does seem as of right now, that date is not going to happen, which sucks. So I'm okay with it though. I'd rather have them cook, have enough supply, let people make some games for it. Like at this point, the Switch is kind of running on fumes. The sales have been going down a lot because people know the next Switch will be coming out soon. So no developer I've spoken to expects it to be launching this financial year, Dring said. In fact, they've been told not to expect it in the current financial year. A bunch of people I spoke to hope it's out in April or May time, still early next year, not late. So right now, this is all based on rumors and just people, what their expectations are. I do not believe that's necessarily good, because that does mean a longer delay for the console. And once again, it's starting to get pretty needed. Like I think we need a new Switch at this point, just getting dated. So it is a little bit of a delay. It does seem like it's confirmed because people expecting this March release date. A lot of people are on that, even around April time too, who knows? But it does seem like there is a small delay with it. I don't think any of us wants a late launch for the Switch 2 because we all want a new Nintendo console. Everyone gets excited for it. We don't want that crunch of Grand Theft Auto 6 and the Switch and all that stuff on top of each other. Because think about it that way, you have like so you have GTA 6. People are maybe want to buy a PS5 Pro, get a PC for the future, future gate it, or even maybe a new Xbox. So why would anyone want to get the Switch 2 when, it just doesn't happen? So either way, it's been now almost 8 years. It's getting really delayed. People are getting a little bit sad on this delayed news, but it may not be a bigger delay than we expect, but it does still seem to be a somewhat big delay. Now, we also kind of covered up this stuff too as well. But when it comes to Switch 2, we've had a lot of really big news coming out with it. We've had a lot of different types of leaks and information, all that type of stuff too. And like I said, this is how I can kind of go and tell how it's been kind of delayed, saying the brand published its intent to announce this Nintendo Switch 2, as we mentioned before. So then a lot of people were assuming that it was meant to be released in 2024. So it has seemingly been delayed, which sucks. Anyway, so there has been a lot of sources too. It's been internally on basically been confirmed too as well that they were assuming the release date was March 2025. The Nintendo aims to beat these scalpers to have enough units on demand for it. So now we are now even assuming it's even past this March of 2025 date. So that kind of sucks. A little bit. It kind of does kind of suck. I would also prefer them having enough stock to make sure there aren't like a lot of scalpers. Like, I get that. I understand that. Totally. But either way, there's been a lot of big things too as well. Or they want to go and actually have a lot more bigger updates and more of a revamp of the current hardware too. They're saying they want to still have it be a hybrid console. So that means having it being able to be dockable, movable, whatever it might be. The dock might be able to upscale to 4K rather than just 1080p using DLSS 2. There's also going to be a brand new potential chip too as well that would also maybe have some deep learning accelerator components too, which would be very nice to use machine learning and using these better specs to make the console a little bit better. And on top of that too is going to be a larger console. Basically built in hands too, same with like when it comes to the Steam Deck. I think people are okay with better specs. It's become more normalized. We also haven't seen that they want to maybe use an LCD screen, which is technically a downgrade to keep the cost down lower, and that is a little bit on the rougher side. But that does let them have a chance for a revamped model in the future. So right now we're looking at a custom NVIDIA chip, 8 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage, which is actually quite low, all things considered. I'd hope they bump that up. They do have DLSS 2 support. They have an 8-inch LCD display, which I'm not the biggest fan of it too as well, because I'd rather have an OLED, but if it makes the price cheaper, I'm okay with that. Better battery life too as well, which is nice, and just a lot of machine learning support. So it is a little bit sucky if it's some downgrades from the Switch 2 and there is a delay. But at the end of the day, I think I'm still excited for the Switch 2. So I want to hear your thoughts. Are you guys going to pick one up? We have all the Target links down below if you guys want to check that on out. We all for the summer holiday sales. We have the Twitter and Twitch. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I appreciate y'all for watching.